Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron and Nicoletti. I forgot who I was there for a minute with Brian and Nato. You can see our 3 different racetracks, the only place in North America, I believe, with 3 different racing surfaces there. The turf course getting nice and green. Had a couple of intermittent showers this morning. I think not going to affect anything. We got sunny conditions for sure right now. And Brian, hey, got the Rainbow Six again.
2 days in a row, so congrats. 80,000, I believe, yesterday even. So well done. That means we start anew again today at $50,000, and that's race 5. And you got a ticket coming up.
I mean, you are the proponent of bet. This is the time to bet these kind of Rainbow Sixes now when you don't have the heavy heads in. And if you put a few bucks in, you got a chance. Like, look yesterday. Yep. A bunch of people got $80,000. Yeah. That's pretty nice, you know. So great handicapping by all those people out there. So we're going to get going here with the early pick 5. We got the, but before that, I want to mention we have almost over $15,000 in the Super High 5 this afternoon.
It's up to 18 now.
It's up to 18. Well, yeah, no, the Super High 5, about 15 around there. So if you play that, might be a good time with an 8-race field because this one is going to be about 5.5 on the Torpedo. Maiden claim is 3 and up. Scratch the 3. Jockey on the number 4 is Ianel Bito. And Brian put that early pick 5 ticket together.
Yeah, I swapped our numbers there. 18,000 in the early 5, 15 in the Super High 5. They're both going to grow, and they're going to grow exponentially. $24 ticket for me. We'll get to the opener in a second. 31 is the order in race 2 with Chasing Joy. I know you've got a replay coming up with that one. 4 deep in race 3. That's a tough puzzle for me. 2-year-old maiden claiming fillies, several on debut, including the 3 Akella. 3 deep in race 4. My long shot play is Perfect Picture, Ronnie. I don't think you're going to have to look hard to find him. He should be in front in there. Here's the single Midnight Onyx for Mike Yates to get out of that sequence.
Yeah, we'll show a performance by that horse a little later on during this show. Getting back to the first race, I did have the number 2 on top in here. Great Junior is making the usually, we'll say, fruitful third start back from the layoff. I've thought a pair of useful performances sprinting on the Torpedo, and more importantly, it's Jose D'Angelo, MCL Jaramillo. I think this horse has some upside this afternoon. Put him on top.
Did you have him on top the whole way?
Yeah,
okay.
I did. Yeah.
Okay, I had him in third, and so he moves up to second now, and I'll use him. Jose D'Angelo, I thought he ran okay last time. I'd like to be a little closer today. The second place horse comes back to win. The winner that day was pretty good as well, so now the form certainly plays with this kind of group.
Well, the horse that you have on top right now is Nippon, is turning back to a sprint distance after hitting the board in one of those 2 recent outings, going to mile 70 odds on the Torpedo. For Joe Orsino, Edgar Perez, lightly raced sophomore.
Yeah, this is the move up because I did have Eternal Flame on top. I worry on the cutback here if this horse gets run off his feet a little bit. Joe and Edgar Perez, 27%. That's the positive. This horse hasn't shown a lot of speed routing. Now we cut back to a sharp 5.5. So hopefully Edgar can get him in the race a little bit.
The one can't be broken. May have finally found that spot where he can notch the elusive maiden victory after knocking on the door in 3 consecutive races at this level. Includes that trouble starting second at this distance last time out, at 5 furlongs last time out, so a couple of starts back. So this horse, we've seen this happen numerous times where they have a lot of losses, and all of a sudden they put it together and win.
He did say it. I mean, Poetic Code got it done at 0 for 23, but I don't like the rail here. That's what really worried me, and obviously 0 for 24 lifetime.
We'll go to race number 2 this afternoon. 5.5 furlongs on the main track. Claiming fillies, 3-year-olds of 4 and up. Non-winners of 3 in life. $6,250. Going to start the first of 2 pick 4s this afternoon. And we both have we got the same try up there. Chasing Joy, Arrow Shape. Chasing Joy and Arrow Shape. Let's go backwards, picking up from the 8th pole home. And you're going to see this horse, Chasing Joy. Now, it's a reclaim today by Shamir Mirage. And what I wanted to show here, it looked like, the 6 was out of it, and then it looked like they were going to catch Chasing Joy. Just got a little leg weary in the stretch there, and came on, and then you see these horses starting to close, but they were both game enough. 6 and Arrow Shape to 6 that day, ended up getting caught, but held on. I just wanted to show you that performance last time out.
Yeah, and that was at 6.5.
Yeah.
So we're cutting back to 5.5 today, and I think that only helps her. And if you draw a line through that race 3 back, and I think I remember talking about this, I think she probably paid the price that day. This is the race 3 back where she was 4th. Other than that, her 3 races around it have been absolutely dynamite, Ronnie, and she's in such good form. You mentioned, too, the old RC, the reclaim. We got to love that.
Yeah, and getting the apprentice in there today, Jaime Torres. So that's a little break in the weights. Arrow shape for all the reasons we just showed you. Finished third when beaten less than a length behind Chasing Joy last night for Jose D'Angelo and MSC Jaramillo. Mudshaft going to try and make it 3 in a row after using her tactical speed to break her maiden at the distance 2 starts back. She defeated 2 lifetimes, going 6 last out. Hey, she's in good form.
You have to give her credit. Matt Williams has done a good job for her. 0 for 14 turns into 2 for 16, but to me, and I kind of think maybe you agree too, she's a couple below these top 2.
Yeah, just that she's in that good form. So tries, supers, as we always say here. Race number 3 this afternoon, 5.5 furlongs, maiden claiming filly, 2-year-olds, 25,000, no scratches, jockey changes in here. We'll start with your horse on top, and that is the 3, Aquila.
Yeah, the dam was 0 for 6, and this is her third foal. The other 2 weren't much. But this is, we're talking 25 maiden claimers. You're not going to get a lot of pedigree in here. We will show a trainer stat here. It was Jorge Delgado, Chantel Sutherland, and good to see them back here after they were up at Keeneland in the Breeders' Cup yesterday. It's not a big sample, but I think we've noted this too. He seems to put her on some live maiden claimers here. 3 for 5, again, not a big sample. I think this horse is live, and I like this post for a first-time starter for a horse that I expect to show some speed too.
Yeah, that was the number 9 on the outside, Aquila on top of his ticket. The number 2, Sisterin, is a half-sister to a hard-knocking local runner called Joe DiBaggio. Debuts for Rowan Crichton with a solid morning work tab showing. Edgar Perez rides the daughter of Brethren. So, hey, Joe DiBaggio, one of my favorite named horses, and always seems to win some races around here.
I mean, he might be the hardest knocker we have on the grounds here. He's a really cool old dude. He's a veteran. He's won a ton of races. He's really, really game. And if you're kin to him, that's not a bad thing at all.
Kathy Ridvo had a winner yesterday, so she's got the 7 Mikasa, daughter of Black Onyx, debuting for Kathy. Got a lot of works over the track, getting ready here, about 11 of them. Hey, Miguel Vasquez is here.
I think that's noteworthy. We've talked about it so much. The dam was unraced. It's her 5th foal. None of them really could run. None of them won on debut. But look here's Miguel riding a $2,500 daughter of Black Onyx. I think you might want to just take a little bit deeper of a look, especially if the money shows early on.
Race 4 this afternoon is going to be about 5.5 on the Peter Claimers 3. 4 and up, non-winners of 3 races in life. 12-5 down to 10,000. No scratches, jockey changes. We'll start with your horse in here. And I did not use this is a picture perfect. I had a little further down on my ticket. I think 10-1 on the morning line.
Yeah, so this is my long shot. And you look at the speed this gelded son of Klimt has been showing in the last several starts. And so, I don't think this horse has to work as hard today. We know on these Tapeta sprints, if you're close, if you're in front, it's a great spot to be. It's a send mission. I don't see anybody going 44-3 with this horse today. Maybe we can settle just a little bit better, and maybe we can get brave, Ron.
I went with the horse you have in third on top, and that's Loyal Louis. He's dropping to the 12-5 level, face tougher, sprinting on the Tapeta with some little bit of success since that 12-5 claim by Diane Marisi down in April. So this looks like the level for this horse. They stepped it up a few different times. Lionel Reyes in the saddle today.
Yeah, and Lionel's 20% riding for Diane. The class drop here, and this horse has big figures for this kind of group, too.
The number 3, Pharaoh Cat, is stretching out to 5.5 furlongs. Responded to the drop down with that 3rd place finish for Jimmy Gullick.
Yeah, check out this trainer stat for Jimmy, and this is on Tapeta Sprints, and he does such a good job. 8 for 25. Look at the ROI. Big ROI right here. Tapeta sprinting at Gulfstream Park. This horse should be close to picture perfect early, and if that one can't see it out, Pharaoh Cat might take over off the far turn.
And the number 1 horse in here, it's sort of interesting, and he opened to bounce back at the following that claiming scored 2 starts back. Was the favorite last time out, did not run at this level. MSCL Jaramillo hops aboard today. Lionel Reyes is going to move to Loyal Louis. So if you're playing musical jockeys, maybe this is a horse that you put somewhere in your ticket, but that last race is hard to forgive a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you because it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth. He was 9-5, and he comes in off such good, prolonged form. He didn't do a lot of running last time.
We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow 6 ticket, and they've been hitting this thing each and every day, see if they can do it again today. We'll be right back.
It's probably the most beautiful racetrack in the country, to be honest with you.
The background is just beautiful.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the grandstand and the racing.
The weather is beautiful. The facility is phenomenal. The Gulfstream Championship meet has become one of the top events of the year. You could come out on a Wednesday and see a future Preakness winner.
They're off in the Preakness. The Run Happy Santa Anita Derby.
Got the unique 6.5 down the hillside turf course.
A whole lot of great racing here in California.
And we're off.
We have all 3 surfaces here, the only racetrack in the country to have all 3 surfaces. Being close to the ocean, being surrounded by some of the greatest horses and riders in history, it's amazing.
It's the prettiest thing you've ever seen. There's no one else has a background like we do.
Welcome back to Gulfstream. Today, Ron and Brian, it's about 11:40 a.m. here on a sunny day in South Florida. And race number 5 is where the Rainbow Six is going to start today. We've mentioned a couple of times already that they've hit it, Friday and Saturday? Can you do it again today? This one's going to be 6 furlongs maiden, claiming 2-year-olds 50,000. Scratch the 3, scratch the 7. One of the horses I did have on my ticket. We'll show you that ticket right now. So I ended up going just 3 deep in here with the 1, the 2, and the 10. And we'll talk about that race. And my best bet today is Hot Blooded. I'm going to show you a race. It's back in June, but I was so impressed with this horse running back then, taking a little bit of a shot today, because how do you beat Lamplighter Jack? It's tough. We're going to try. Lots of coverage in race number 7. My long shot today is Uno Tiger, who for Kathleen O'Connell got lots of coverage. Race 8. Living Water and Aztec look like the logical 2 in there. Strong Again, I like in race number 9, along with Warp Speed Baby. And I got some coverage in the last. Top pick is 5, Awesome Identity. $28.80 for me today.
So I think we've given out $225,000, $250, a buck set, about 169 on Friday and 80 yesterday. So congrats if you're out there. Take another stab at it today. It's a sequence where there's some horses you can lean on. I think there's some races you can get creative into.
Well, one of your singles in your early pick 5 was this number 1, Midnight Onyx, who's turning back to 3/4 mile, responded to the drop down with the second. Well, let's go show you. Going to pick it up on the top of the stretch home, which he battles on. But there you're going to see it. It was one of those days where it was raining an awful lot, and that's, Shaq Diesel, of course, is in there, but this is her, the number 5, and she's running right on, and Shaq Diesel, cut the corner, and that was Shaq Diesel's second consecutive victory. He was 9-5 this day, and Midnight Onyx didn't really give it up. Miguel Vasquez here, so a good performance, albeit it was on a sloppy track. We'll see how that plays out today.
No, I mean, Shaq Diesel's been in such good form in the 2 starts with Ronaldo Richard, so I just think that flatters Midnight Onyx. You see Boris 2 back. He was so good. They ran Boris in a Tapeta Stakes next out. That's how good that win was. 2 back, maiden special weights, 3 back. I think today this is his time to break through and shine, because I don't see any Shaq Diesels or Boris's in here, at least right yet.
Well, the number 10 is where I went in second. The Cozen won, and this one is now going to break 2 spots in with those 2 scratches in the race. Solid third at the distance, 2 starts back, turns back. Had some trouble at the start last time out prior to finishing a 7-wide 5th behind Midnight Onyx. You saw what the conditions were at 7 furlongs. Apprentice Jason Hueyas riding for Kathleen O'Connell.
Yeah, I don't know if it's nitpicking or not. There's definitely some moisture in the track, and he didn't really love it last time. I look at that race 2 back. That was a much, much better effort. Probably by this time it will be on a much faster surface, even though it's fast right now. We'll see what we get. This post should help him. Jason Hueyas has been known to take the initiative, as he did 2 back. If this horse gets a better footing today, he's a player.
You got this first-time starter on your ticket, and that is the number 9 Olo Run from Gilberto Zerpa.
Yeah, unraced dam, 4th foal, only one of them raced, and wasn't really much, but it's Gilberto, who's 18% with firsters. Jaramillo is here. I think that's the positive, to be sure, and this horse draws well, too, with a couple snappy work showing.
And just real quick, that number 2 horse is the son of a productive freshman sire, Gervin, debuting for Jose D'Angelo. Maybe you take a second look there. Race number 6 this afternoon is about 1.70 on the Tapeta allowance, 3-year-olds and up. This is a pretty nice race here, as we mentioned all along. No condition allowance race, and you put your late pick 5 ticket together.
Yeah, this is a stakes race. It's only not a stakes race because it's not called a stakes race, but that's how good it is. It's tremendous. I went 4 deep in here. It's a $4 sequence. Lorenz is down inside in race 7. I will single there, getting back to the Tapeta for Safi Joseph Jr. Here's another single in race 8. Living Water is going to be a very, very short number in there. 68 is the order with the 1 Mope Dennis coming out. I think that's a key scratch. Strong again on top. Liam McCannis, we got to give him a shout out. He's done so well of late, so well on the Tapeta too. Best bet of the day, Ronnie wraps it up in race 5. That's awesome identity. Race 10, excuse me, the 5, awesome identity.
Yeah, Ed Plesa Jr. on that one. I've been touting in my brain, at least for sure, the number 2 Hot Blooded, who won the $65,000 Soldiers Dancers in his only previous race on the Tapeta. So we're going to go back to June 12th. And but just because there was another horse, me and Mr. C was in that race. But I want to show you here, this Hot Blooded is the number, 2 horse in here, and that's me and Mr. C. And there's the 2 horse right there, and that is Hot Blooded. Now, the reason I wanted to pick it up going into the far turn, you can see this horse has absolutely nowhere to run in this race. So, just steadying back. Now, me and Mr. C found a little bit of space, but the 2 is still mired behind horses here. And it's going to be one of these trips and that, you say, oh, I got to go outside here. So this horse ducks outside. What do you want to call it? 6 wide, 7 wide. And watch this horse close in the stretch. I was just so enamored with it. And you're going to see that other one, me and Mr. C, slipped through on the inside. It had a little bit of a better move, but this horse just came flying down the stretch here to win this race after being mired behind those horses. Just so impressed with that performance, albeit it was back in June. Only time this horse has ever been on the Tapeta.
You see it right there, and this is actually a move Carlos David pulled the other day. Not with a horse as good as Hot Blooded, but he had a horse up at Monmouth that was running relatively well on the turf, brought him back here and had a good Tapeta race showing. He won right back today with Hot Blooded. I'm with Ron. We're going to have, hopefully, we need a little more clear sailing today because I don't think he's going to be able to do that against this group and get it done. But that was a powerful effort, as you just saw.
What'd you see with Tango, Tango, Tango?
Well, this is a Grade 1 stakes place horse, and this is Jack Sisterson. We've talked about Jack. He did well here during the championship meet last winter. We know him well. We'll take a look at a stat. It's not a big stat, but it kind of just refreshes our memory a little bit with Jack Sisterson, too. 3 for 10 on Tapeta routes here, so he's done this, and he's done this well. He actually popped with a first-time starter sprinting the other day, and that's not his M.O. either, a horse he owned. Tango, Tango, Tango exudes class. I mean, you see these races, the Eddie D, the Del Mar Handicap, the Eddie Reed. Those are legit Grade 2, Grade 3 kind of stakes races in California. This horse was not disgraced at all. This is as light a group as he's seen in quite some time.
And look who's riding Edgar Zayas with 6 victories yesterday. Almost had 7, too. He's going up the inside. Fantastic day for him. We would tease into Edgar. It took him about 3-4 days to get that 2,000 win. Now he's just exploding. He's going to be in 3,000 before we know it. So it was good. Hey, we got to talk about our buddy Lamplighter Jack in here. This one notched his 5th victory from 6 races going long on the Tapeta. Edgar Perez, they're going to be playing Catch Me If You Can, right?
5 for 6 on the Tapeta, 6 for 7 at the distance, and Ronnie is 100% right. And I tried to beat him last time, and he just drags everyone into the ground. He runs them all into the ground, and you think there's other speed, and he's still there, and he's still kicking late. He's such a cool horse. Joe has done such a good job with him. Edgar Perez fits him to a T. This is by far his stiffest test.
Let's go to race number 7, where our final pick 4 of the weekend will start. It's about 1.70 miles on the Tapeta allowance optional claimer. 3-year-olds and upward. That optional tag, $25,000. Scratch the 9. Also scratch both also eligible entries. I'll kick it off in here with my I'm going to show you a video for a couple of the other horses that in this race. Great King to be, who got shut off at the 16th pole. But first, I want to talk about Uno Tiger, who's facing stakes caliber competition on the Tapeta before going to the sidelines. And John, you just look at the horses this one has been running at. Returns for Kathleen O'Connell, and I think in an ideal spot for this Gelding to notch his 5th score going long on the all-weather surface. 7 starts, 4 wins, a 2nd and a 3rd. Jairo Rendon had a nice victory yesterday. And Uno Tiger, you just read through his last lines for these guys here. These are the top guys that we got. Lamplighter Jack, as we mentioned in the last race, Hot-Blooded, Then he had that 4 wins in a row. So, and I think going to get a little bit of price. 12 to 1 on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that he's back because we knew him so well over the late spring and early summer, and he was in such good form. It seemed like he stubbed his toe a little bit last time, so Kathleen freshens him up. I would expect him to run well in here. It's a tough ask off the break, and I think that's why you're going to get a square price on him.
The number 1 Lorenz is where you went. The Brazilian bred is back locally after following that second place finish on the Tapeta here. Didn't run against those 62,500 on the grass up at Saratoga.
Yeah, I mean, that was a razor-sharp group up there at Saratoga. But you look at this horse when he was a good second here on our Tapeta for Safi, and that was a tough spot. That was off a March layoff in July, so he's off 4 months. He's trying the Tapeta off turf and dirt races in his native Brazil, and he runs huge to be second. Journeyman, who he beat, comes back to win. We know how good he is. Now we're down inside. I like this group for Lorenz today.
Well, we got 3 other horses in this race: Great King, Sigrun, Fast Boy, and Wicked Finn. I'm going to go back and show you, from the 3/16th pole, when they're sort of battling for the lead in there, you're going to see Wicked Finn, Great King, Sigrun, Fast Boy. They're sort of like the race is up to them, and the number 7 that day is Wicked Finn. And we're going to pick it up. You see Wicked Finn on the inside just running, and all of a sudden, when they get to like the 16th pole here, this is the battle. Great. You'd see the 2 is Great King, Sigrun, Fast Boy. Wicked Finn just says, wait, I think I'm going to go and lug out here and cause a whole jam up and just totally shuts off Chantal, who's on the 2-horse Great King. Got no shot. You can see right there. How much did it affect it? I just want to go back. Now, Wicked Finn was disqualified. Chantal was moved up. What'd you think?
I think he was going to run fourth.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. He's second choice on the board. That's why I wanted to show.
Yeah, he's a player in here. Yeah, if you ask me on that particular spot, he was going to run fourth. He always was going to run fourth. I agree. He's a player in here. He's now second off an elongated layoff. He's here. He's acclimated. Second off the trainer switch as well. And you put Jorge and Chantal Sutherland together, we know how good they are.
We'd be remiss if we didn't mention the number 4 horse in here. I mean, the number 6 horse in here, Native Thunder, $200,000 Son of America Pharaoh, debuting on Tapeta for Todd. Makes his first start since cruising away in the slop. He beat 4 rivals that day up at Monmouth. Todd, you gotta take a second look.
Exactly, because this horse is super slow on paper in this group, but it's a Hall of Fame trainer with a Hall of Fame jockey for that matter too, Edgar Prado. And quietly, Edgar Prado doesn't ride a lot. He's done a really nice job this year.
Yeah, he's been winning some races. He's picking his spots and running well. Race 8 this afternoon, 6 furlongs. Claim is 3 up. Non-winners are 2. 35-25. Scratch the 1 and 6. And one of your singles here, Living Water, and exactly should be dropping to the 35-2 lifetime level.
Yeah, this horse is evens on the morning line, and he might be about 2 to 5 now with the scratches in here. It's handicapping 101. He's just way better and faster than every horse in this race.
Yeah, look who he ran against. Stakes winner Octane, next out winner the Distractor. Aztec looks like, who broke his maiden here in his debut. Returns, he faced tougher. Sort of inconsistent up in New Jersey for Kathleen. Jairo Rendon, that's a reason to look. But that was a good single by you right there. Race number 9 this afternoon. This one is about 1.70 on the Tapeta. Claim is 3-year-olds and upward non-winners of 2 races in life. 20 down to 16. Scratch the inside horse, number 1, Moped Dennis, will not compete this afternoon. And strong again. Looks pretty strong in here. 4 for 7 in the money on the Tapeta, including that maiden score last time out.
Powerful win last time for Leon McCannis, and I've mentioned this earlier, but Leon seems to be have a real good affinity, 16% on all-weather surfaces. He's done a good job on it. He's winning races here quietly, and this horse right back. We often knock sometimes horses facing winners for the first time off a breakthrough win like that against this group today, Ron. I'm okay with it. Yeah,
it kept going back, and I seen that everybody was picking the 8-horse somewhere on their ticket. And I put it a little further down. I'm talking about Mr. JT from Kathleen O'Connell. Ran pretty good in those races up there in Monmouth. 16-2 lifetime, trying to get that second win.
Yeah, and that last race was on turf, and he ran very, very well. You could argue it was his best race. It was certainly his best race against winners. There's no doubt about that. Now off that, Kathleen's going to bring him down here. He's going to try the Tapeta. We don't know if he can handle it, but we often say if you can handle the turf, we'd like to think you can handle the Tapeta. And I'm just looking at that last race, Ron. That race puts him squarely in the mix with this kind of group.
The number 9 War Warp Speed Baby, easy for me to say, has had a couple of starts and stops. You can see was given another break, returned from a layoff in August, used his speed to defeat those 12-5 maidens going a mile in the 16th. Ralph Nix had a similar horse come off a layoff yesterday and win with that 61 to 180-day layoff. And I think this horse, they start, they had to stop. Now he's coming back again off that win, and Ralph is good with this kind of layoff.
Yeah, and he took advantage of the waiver last time. He didn't put this horse in for a tag. This horse did it the hard way because we know, we've shown it quite a bit, you don't want to be on the lead routing on the Tapeta. He did it, and he did it good off a long layoff. You're allowed to think he improves today, and if he does, that's as good as anybody's doing in here.
And I didn't know what to do with the number 4 Aries Reigns. Makes the local return on the Tapeta. He beat those maiden special weight going a mile on the Canterbury main track. I don't know.
He's a total guess.
Yeah, total guess. You just look at that horse of something, it catch your fancy. You got the super high 5 you might want to add it to. Last race, nice full field of 12. We do scratch the number 13, Lady Petal. It's 5 on the Tapeta, about distance, maiden claiming filly 2-year-olds. Your best bet is best bet and single today is Awesome Identity. We'll go back and show you Awesome Identity. We'll pick it up from the top of the stretch home. When there she is right there, and you could see her turning for home there. And she was pretty good to go and win it. She was a 9-1, I believe.
Yeah, and the finishing order, the horses early were the 6 and the 8. Sixth place horse and eighth place horse early on are the ones that run 1-3. She's the only one sticking around, Ronnie. I thought this was a good win. It was her first start on Tapeta. Why can't she build off of it? She's got the right running style as well. And I'm going to throw it to you because you've got Love is Awesome in second. I don't know if Love is Awesome can run at all because she hasn't done any running in 2 starts, really.
Yeah, so we'll go with that. Yeah, Love is Awesome third against 35 maidens on the Tapeta in a debut. Drops to the 16 level today and turns back with blinkers added after failing to menace against those 35 types, going around 2 turns on the all-weather. Hey, Safi Joseph Jr., 3 victories yesterday. Look who's aboard. Edgar Zayas, 6 victories yesterday. They're 25% with the turn-back move. This horse is not going to beat me.
She can beat me.
No.
I don't know. She ran a 17 on debut and she was third. That was not a fast race. Now she cuts back. You have all-star connections, obviously, so she's going to take a lot of money. I'm okay with Awesome Identity in here.
What about the 8 horse in here? And that is Stephanie, my love.
Well, she's a wild card, right? I mean, this is Angel M. Cordero, who's done some decent things up in Delaware in the Mid-Atlantic. And down here, the barn takes over 15%. First time into the barn. We'll see what we get. A couple maiden special weights here. Gets Edwin Gonzalez, we know, is a solid Tapeta rider. This is the wild card. We'll see coming out of seemingly key races up at Delaware.
The 10 Mo Time is another one from Eddie Plesa Jr., and you found the stat on Eddie Plesa Jr. with this one dropping today.
Yeah, we'll take a look at this, and this is a good angle for Eddie. This is her second time maiden sprinting at Gulfstream the past 3 years, 32%. The ROI is predictably big. Edgar Perez is here. I like the fact this horse dueled early before tiring on debut. Maybe we stick around a little longer today.
We'll see how that final race plays out this afternoon, but we are not done, of course, like we do each and every day. We'll have our lightning round right now, and nice stakes landing for Night Jumper, huh?
Oh, boy, he ran very, very well yesterday, for Kent Sweezy. We'll take a look at it. Who was aboard? Edgar Zayas as well. This was part of the 6-pack, and tightens up a little bit here in the lane, but I think Night Jumper is and always was winning, and he looked good doing it, and a good job by Kent Sweezy and the team.
Yeah, you mentioned Edgar. What a day yesterday.
Well, it's a good segue because now we'll show him winning on stat for Safi, and you said that Safi had 3 yesterday too. So, White Hot, he ticks off 2,000 the other day, and he's right back now. 6 yesterday, Ronnie. You mentioned he could have had 7, but this is a good example of how good Edgar is. He's just on the pulse of everything. Stat in the right spot the entire way around. He gets first jump on Meteorito, and that's the path to victory.
Yeah, he just right. And the one that he missed, the horse looked like he didn't have a chance, and he put him against the rail. It was the number 8 horse. I forget the name right now. I thought he was going to win that race, too. 7 is like sort of the key number here. Won 7 races. 6, not bad, don't get me wrong, but 7 is sort of that unbelievable. But I'm still going to go with unbelievable for Edgar.
Are you okay that I put him in the lightning round after 6 wins? You okay?
Yeah. What's your best bet, wise guy?
All the way in the last race here. What is that, Awesome Identity in the finale?
I went with that horse that we showed in race number 6, the replay with Hot Blooded at 5-1 on the morning line. Your long shot today?
Yeah, we're going to speed pop them in race 4. Liz Dobles and Marcos Meneses with Picture Perfect.
I got Uno Tiger. I'm going to try and get that one home at 12-1. Loves the Tapiti here. 4 wins from 7 starts. I guess you watched Flightline yesterday.
We did. We watched it together, and Immortality. So, and I hope watch this. We'll pay close attention to this because you won't see it again because he was retired about 30 minutes ago. That isn't what it is. But 6 races, an absolute tour de force in a really weird Breeders' Cup Classic. There's our friend Life is Good coming out of it now after setting wild fractions. Those were not the fractions. Yeah. They were adjusted. But what do you want to say, Ronnie? Straight as a string through the lane. Awesome.
6 career starts. I would like to see him run a little bit, maybe in the Pegasus here or something like that. 6 starts. Didn't try the Triple Crown, but you can't take anything away from that horse. Just unbelievably impressive. And you know what? Not melancholy, but closing day at Santa Anita today.
So they got a big carryover in their rainbow. It pays out. Excuse me. There you see it. $3 million. They're estimating out there. I'm looking at it right now. That's going to kick off at 5 o'clock our time here on the East Coast. Santa Anita's 5th race on closing day out there, and get involved.
$3 million and exceed $3 million. That's the one you want to hit today. So we're going to turn it over to Darren Gagne. He's going to give us the scratches and jockey changes and all that good stuff. And Brian and I will be back here for race number 1.
The industry has a few things that we have to take care of better, and one was the aftercare of the horses.
If we did nothing, these horses would end up in very bad places. That can't happen.
We have a social responsibility to make sure that thoroughbred aftercare is also #1 on the list.
The cost could be the entire industry. We have to take care of these horses.
I remember that meeting at Belmont Park. It was a dream.
It's different than any other program that was put into place.
It is a first line of defense for those who are concerned about what happens to the equine athlete after he's done racing.
We started with some 21 organizations across the country, and now we're up to over 82 facilities throughout the country and giving away almost just under $25 million.
It's the one shining accomplishment that we have that we can point to say we really do love our horses.